most of wealth is actually not making money, but the ability to manage money. Don't be so quick to cut people off. Have conversations with people. Let them know how they can meet you in your new self. Get yourself food that you also like, my darling. You don't have to be forcing kill down your throat every single day because you want to lose weight. Come out of your shell, my love. I promise you, you will not die, you will live. Welcome to my channel. My name is Amahle and this is Girl of Glow, darling. If you are a returning subscriber, I'd like to sincerely take the time to say thank you for returning once again. And if you are new around the block, if you're seeing this face for the very first time, welcome, my darling. Hopefully what I have to share with you today is going to be of great value and it's going to convince you to stick around and join our family. Engage with me in the comment section. I'd love to hear your perspective. I'm very open to constructive criticism as well because I'm obviously not perfect. I'm human. We learn from each other. I'm just here to share a few of my convictions and learnings with you with the hopes of growing, loving and glowing together. Let's get into today's video. Today I want us to speak about the topic of vision. Many of us are not committing to our goals like we did in January. Many of us are starting to slack and many of our efforts are being dampened. So today I want to come on here and share my learnings on the topic of vision and also just share with you how I'm enacting these certain segments of vision in my own life. So the first segment is spiritual, emotional and mental health. This is first for a very good reason in that those three are the basic components of a human being. Spirituality, I feel, is very downplayed in most of our lives, which is very unfortunate because spirituality is basically like the core essence of who we are. So spirituality refers to the grounding principles that govern the way that you live your life, the grounding values. These things never ever change. These things remain the same regardless of how you're feeling, what you look like or the situation around you. It's important to anchor yourself in spirituality because then when life threatens to throw you, of course, you have something to anchor you and to hold you down. For me, I'm Christian, and so where I find my grounding principles and values in life are in the Bible. So I know that even as I'm standing here today and I'm speaking to you on the other side of the camera, I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Everything in me feels like I can't do this and I can't speak, I'm not eloquent, but at the end of the day, God says about me is what I value the most, is what I choose to place above every other thing in my life. And so that's the importance of spirituality. In terms of enacting spirituality, I have been waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning where I have devotional time, I pray and I worship. I think with spirituality, it's important to make it relevant to your situation, make it relevant to you in the sense where if you know that you can't wake up in the morning because you just can't process anything in the morning, nothing makes sense in the morning for you, then set aside some time maybe in the afternoon when you feel like you can do this. But what's important is to have consistency in your spiritual life and not treat it like a side hustle, and to actually spend a certain amount of time every day grounding yourself in these principles. We forget a lot as human beings, and so it's important to set aside some time every single day. I also started saying affirmations. One of my love languages, my most prominent, my biggest love languages is words of affirmation, and so I decided to make it relevant to me in that I started reciting the word of God back to me, So that's what I mean by saying make it relevant to your situation. How you can enact spirituality in your life is through meditation. I've tried meditation before, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and so I'm okay with not doing it right now. I'll possibly try again in the future. You can say affirmations, pray. There's plenty of prayers. If you feel like you don't know what to say when you want to pray, there's plenty of prayers on the internet. You can pray literally through the Bible, through the Psalms. There's lots and lots of ideas of what you can pray for and about. And I feel like prayer is also not meant to be as serious as the majority of Christians make it come across as. When you pray, just speak from your heart. Just take it like you are having a conversation with God. Yeah, as time goes on, you'll get into the rhythms of your prayer life and you'll get better as you go. And when it comes to mental health is a very big topic in our society. I love it, but I also feel like if we're to address the human being holistically, it's no good to just focus on one area and to neglect the other areas. For the purpose of this video, I'm not going to be addressing the many things that concern mental health because it's a very huge topic. I'm just going to be focusing mostly on consumption. I am in my early 20s and I'm in a very transitional stage of my life in that there's a lot that's changing. I'm having to learn and unlearn a lot of things. I'm having to consistently be intentional about how I choose to renew my mind through the content that I consume, through my ears and my eyes, what I watch and what I listen to. It's important to keep watch of the things that you allow into your ears and into your eyes because they inform the way that you come to perceive the world. So how I've been enacting this part of my life is that I have been listening to podcasts. My favorite podcast at the moment is, I mentioned it in the previous video as well, is To My Sister's podcast. I absolutely love Renee and Courtney. They have my heart. And I've also been reading a lot of books on self-development to try and understand myself better. In terms of emotional health, emotions are said to be good signals but bad leaders, in that they're good at telling you what exactly it is that's going on the inside of you, but it is not advisable to be led by your emotions. I want to focus mostly on the negative emotions that we experience as human beings, like jealousy, envy, hatred, anger, and just all the demonized emotions in our society. For a very long time, I believed that I was a bad person because maybe I was jealous of someone else, and it actually took me having to journal. I journaled the entire year last year, and it helped me understand myself better. It helped me get to the root of each and every single emotion that I was feeling that was a bit discomforting. Take your emotions as signals. Don't ignore your emotions. Your emotions play a very vital role in your overall well-being, and if your emotional health is not good, you can actually get physically sick. Provide an outlet for your emotions. Don't bottle up your emotions up until breaking point, up until you do something that you'll regret. Find healthy ways to cope with your emotions. For me, journaling helped me a lot. You can speak to a therapist if you can afford it. You can speak to a trusted friend. All of the stuff helps you navigate through your emotions. Emotions are great signals. So whenever I experience something discomforting now, I make it a point to ask myself why I'm feeling this way and to get to the root of it. And I'm not so quick to judge myself anymore, because I understand that it's not my identity, it's what I'm going through for now, and it's telling me what's happening on the inside of me. The second segment is physical well-being. Actually 3 parts of physical well-being. The first one being nutrition, the second one being rest, and the last one being exercise. I'm going to start with nutrition. Nutrition is very important. I know the majority of us know that. If you want to gain weight, nutrition is 80% of the job. If you want to lose weight, nutrition is 80% of the job. If you want to remain the same, nutrition is 80% of the job. There's actually been like several studies that have said that, like, you know, nutrition has the ability to prevent certain diseases from forming in your body. I've watched a couple of videos where doctors speak about how nutrition has the ability to heal your body. So in terms of nutrition, you kind of want to take watch over the kind of food that you eat. For me, this year, I'm making it a point to try and balance out my diet a bit more, and not to be so hyper focused on eating just the green leaves and the almond milk and the chicken breast, but to actually be okay with having different things in moderation, of course. Majority of the time, I'd like to think that I eat healthy. If you know that you eat a lot of sugar, you can perhaps try and reduce it and go from 5 teaspoons to 4 next time, and so on and so forth. Baby steps are so underrated, yet they take you such a long way. Get yourself food that you also like, my darling. You don't have to be forcing kill down your throat every single day because you want to lose weight. There are plenty of other foods that you can eat that you probably would be so surprised that you enjoy, that are healthy. Try to eat more whole foods over processed foods. Try to drink more water. I don't drink as much soda. I do drink soda and juice, but I mostly drink water and teas. So yeah, kancane, little by little, step by step. Don't rush anything, because rushing things is not sustainable. If you know that you don't like vegetables at all, and now you want to start eating vegetables, and you decide you're gonna buy broccoli, you're gonna eat spinach in the same plate, spinach, broccoli, and green beans, and peas, same plate. Baby girl, I promise you that in the next 6 months, you will want nothing to do with vegetables. Make it fun as well. Don't just eat things that you don't like. Start off little by little. So maybe start off with like carrots and cucumbers, you know, start off by snacking with them. The second one is rest. Rest is often very mildly spoken about. It's not spoken about as much as it should be, but rest is actually very important. I read a quote the other day, and it went along the lines of, rest is possibly more important than activity. I've been trying to enact rest in my life by having a downtime period every day. It hasn't been successful, you know, but I'm just like putting it out there, you know, because growing, loving, and growing together. I've tried to have like a downtime period where I put away my phone and I prepare my mind to fall asleep. When you put your phone away, your mind is not as active, and so it gives a better quality of sleep. And also just like scheduling longer breaks during the day to help you maintain that rest activity equilibrium. Between 7 and 9 hours are the ones that are recommended for each and every single person every day to sleep. And yeah guys, let's stop our bad sleeping habits. Right now it is, I think, 1 a.m. in the morning and I'm shooting this video, so do better next time, queen. Queen is me, I am queen. And then in terms of exercise, I started exercising in 2017 and I was doing it for weight loss. I was very successful. I lost a lot of weight, and then it just became a vicious cycle of gaining and losing weight and gaining and losing weight. So right now I'm really just trying to find the kind of exercises that I like. Exercise is important because it promotes functionality. It enables you to be able to move around better, and it also releases endorphins in your body, making you feel better. If you want to start exercising, I would say diversify your options. Don't just stick to like running and jogging every single day. Try also to incorporate strength training, try Pilates, try swimming. There's so many different forms of exercise that you can try. I feel like exercise is already enough torture, and now you're going to do something that you don't like. Sis, it doesn't make sense. There's just a lot of things that you'd be so surprised you like. Next segment is relationships. I'm sure you've heard it many times being said that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, of which I used to not think it was very true. But as I'm growing up and being exposed to different environments and different people, I am beginning to see their impact in my life, and how over time I kind of begin to do things the way that they do things and speak like them, etc. Assess the kind of relationships that you have at the moment and ask yourself questions like, are there conversations that need to be had in this specific relationship? Are there certain boundaries that need to be drawn in this specific relationship? How do I feel after spending time with this person? Does this person drain me? Does this person bring value to my life? What do we speak about with this person? So really analyze the relationships that you consider the most important in your life and have conversations with people. I mentioned in the last video, I'm gonna say it again. Renee and Courtney once said, the world doesn't revolve around you and your level up journey. And I needed to hear that personally, because when I started wanting to be a better person and level up and stuff, I started labeling everyone else around me as toxic. But the reality is that was a very limited perspective, because I hadn't allowed them into my new space as of yet through having conversations with them and explaining to them what exactly it is that I'm going through. Have conversations with people, let them know how they can meet you in your new self. Don't be so quick to cut people off. This is what I always think to myself. Abuti, honesty is for everyone, in that honesty promotes freedom. And isn't freedom what we all want? There's plenty of communities that you can join online. I think COVID has also made it a bit harder to meet new people. We're living in the digital age now. Our world is changing, and it's no longer weird to download things like Bumble anymore. Reach out to new people. I know Bumble has like different segments to it. It has like a business side of it, the dating side of it, and a BFF. So you can either choose to connect with like-minded people in the business sense, or like-minded people in the romantic sense, or like-minded people in the friendship sense. And the nice thing about these websites and these apps is that you don't have to go through the interviewing phase. Most of the time people actually write what their interests are, and it makes it easier to filter through what you don't like and to actually stay with the people that you do like. Yeah, leverage on the internet. If you're not the kind of person to like want to reach out to people via the internet and you think it's weird, come out of your shell, my love. I promise you, you will not die, you will live. Don't be afraid to reach out to different people, even on Instagram. And then the final one is finances. I said it before in my previous video, I don't really know much about finances, but from what I know and what I'm actively living through right now, I am going to be sharing with you. I'm just going to be speaking about budgeting and investing. I started budgeting when I was in varsity because my money was disappearing within a week of getting it, okay? So I just decided, you know what? Maybe I should try this budgeting thing out, and to my surprise, it worked out. Budgeting helps you put first things first and to see where exactly it is that your money goes. You can budget for things like hair, investments, birthdays, whatever it is that you perceive as important in your life. Budgeting helps you put those things first without running the risk of spending all your money before you're even able to save up for whatever it is that you want to save up for. There are like plenty of templates across the internet that you can use that can help you put your budget together. Another thing, money principles are the same. So the same way that you manage 100 Rand is the same way that you'll manage 100 million Rand. Whether you mismanage or manage the 100 Rand that you get, it's going to have a lot to say about how you manage or mismanage the 100 million Rand that you're going to get. So also teach yourself how to manage money and how to like save as well, because most of wealth is actually not making money, but the ability to manage money. And then the second one is investments. Investments are split into three parts I'm going to be discussing with you right now, which is personal investments, asset investments, and idea investments. So personal investments is everything that's concerning you. That would be your books, degrees, courses, things that concern you. On a less serious scale, investing in yourself could look like going to the gym every day and bulking up, and who knows, when opportunity meets preparation and you happen to be at the right place with the right people, they might just look at you and see you as someone who is fit to be the next Calvin Klein model. So I think it's all about positioning yourself. That's the whole concept of personal investments. Leveraging on that brings a return to you in some capacity, in some way. When you invest in knowledge, when you invest in books, it opens up your mind a bit more about certain topics in the world. I think personal investments is the most self-explanatory than all the other ones. And then idea investments. Idea investments is investments in things like charities, in things like communities, in things like business, like a side hustle. Those are a few idea investments that you can invest in when you have wanted to start a business for a very long time. This is where the savings segment comes in, where you're able to take money from your savings and to actually invest it into your ideas, like your side hustles and your charities, and that brings you a return in some way. And it might not even be like financial return, but investing in a charity, it might give you exposure to platforms that will help you further your dream into being a philanthropist. The gist of investments is just to bring you a return in some possible way. And then the last one is asset investments, refers to investments in pension, investments in the cars, in property, in land, in things like Bitcoin. But I'm not at that stage just yet, and I'm actively wanting to learn more about it so that I can also leverage on that in the near future. Hopefully what I had to share with you today was of great value, and you do like this video, please engage with me. I really want to hear what you have to say about this topic, or even add to this topic. These are my convictions. These are the things that I've learned in my life, and the things I'm continuing to learn, grow, love, and glow through. So yeah, thank you for watching. Until next time.